Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Kind Health Group podcast and YouTube channel. Today is, what day is it?
March 18th.
March 18th, Wednesday. And I'm going to start as I usually do by saying anything I said yesterday could be totally untrue today. So, yeah, here we are. Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Do you wake up every morning thinking, oh, it must have been a really bad nightmare? And then you're like, oh my God, it's real.
Kind of, yes.
So, yeah, I think we're all on that page. So today we have a really special guest in our studio, Sarah, who is 11 years old and is going to give us the kids' perspective on how to manage all things about being quarantined and being socially isolated and distanced and homeschool learning. Yeah. So Annie's had a really funny thing yesterday about homeschooling, which I think a lot of parents share this sentiment. When I asked her about homeschooling, she's like, homeschooling? Oh my God, my kids are going to be dumb. So, and Annie's a super smart person. It's just, this is a lot for everyone.
It's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. My kid's teacher keeps sending home emails of things for us to do. So, after a full day of being home with your kids and trying to get them outside, and it's a lot. So I'm glad to have another kid's perspective today. So it's good.
Yeah. All right, Sarah, we're just going to tell us how you're feeling. Let's just start there. Open question. You can say anything you want.
During this Corona break, I guess, it's kind of stressful because I don't know what I'm supposed to be learning and what pace I'm supposed to be learning at. And I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's really hard to just focus because I know that there's a lot going on right now.
Okay.
Fair enough. How are you sort of staying on schedule? I mean, I know there's a lot expected of kids right now. What's different about your daily routine?
I go down to the beach to study, and I also have meditation breaks because it's really stressful to do all of your work at once.
So what does a meditation break look like for an 11-year-old?
Well, I just relax and I just take a break to relax.
How exactly are you doing that? Are you sitting down, laying down, closing your eyes? Where do you do it? Walk us through. If you had to teach someone how to do it, what would you say?
Well, I go and sit at the beach and I close my eyes and then just listen to the waves and it relaxes me.
That's pretty awesome. So obviously we're lucky to live near the beach here, but how do you think that we can do that? You can teach other kids to do that anywhere, right? Just kind of being outside in nature and just sitting still for a second?
Mm-hmm. Just focus on the things that you like and just don't focus on the negative things.
Wise words. So what are the things that you focus on?
I know that all of my friends are healthy and safe, and my family is too. And I know that we're really lucky to have all of this.
Yeah.
Right. And I know we've talked a little bit about some of the schools and how kids depend on, sometimes students will get lunch and breakfast at school. And I know our local school here in Encinitas, our school department has been asking families to sort of donate items. I know they were asking that of Monday. I'm sure that may have changed by now, but I feel like people coming together in community is helpful, supporting your community.
Yeah. If you can donate to your local schools, your shelters, anything at this point, and I was even saying yesterday to your local hospitals who are in really short supply of medical supplies. So if you've been hoarding all that stuff, you're probably not going to need it. Give it to the hospital.
Yeah. And also I think it's really important at this time to get moving. People are sitting in their homes for a few days and we might be for a while. So, like Sarah said, get outside, go to the beach. We can walk. What else have you been doing to sort of get moving?
Well, since I live near the beach, I run up and down my stairs, and I take walks around my neighborhood.
Do you see other kids doing that?
Sometimes it's nice to have something to walk with, like someone or a friend or a family member, or like I've seen a lot of people with their pets just outside playing.
And I would also say if you don't have someone to walk with, you could throw on, headphones or your phone and just call a family member or a friend that's far away and have a, half-hour chat while you're moving.
That's
people
great
have a lot
advice.
of, like, built up, energy and anxiety. I think kind of getting out there, talking to someone else, social distancing. Yes, we're social distancing, but you could also pick up a phone and talk to someone far away and get your body moving while you're talking. Instead of like pacing around your house, just get outside, start moving. Have you noticed, I know in my neighborhood, so many more people are out. My neighbors are out. They're talking to each other, not exactly right next to each other, but they're talking to each other. There's a lot of biking, skateboarding, dogs being walked. Everyone is outside. It feels like we've moved back into like the 1950s. Is that the same in your neighborhood?
It is, yeah. It's actually kind of cool to see everyone have a little more community and be outside and be in nature. And obviously, with enough distance between us, it's an interesting phenomenon, and I think it's ultimately good for us. And I think we'll be stronger when we come out on the other side of this, which we will. I'm going to say that again every day. And I keep saying don't panic. And it's okay to have momentary breakdowns. We're all having them, but we are going to come out on the other side of this. So, Sarah, I understand you've put together a very comprehensive schedule for yourself. Would you like to share it with our listeners?
Sure. So at 9 o'clock, I head up to where I like to learn, which is the beach. And I set up like towels and I set up all of the school supplies that I need. And then I get onto my iPad math because that's what we would do in a normal school day. Then I do my math pages. And then at around 10:30, I just relax and have a snack. Then at 10:50, I have meditation. And that's when I would relax and like sit down and just focus on what's going on around me. And then I do more of my schoolwork and I read. Then I do some of the work that I didn't finish. And then I have lunch. Then I found another way to relax and I build rock towers.
So cool.
Then I do more of my catch-up work. Then I do PE where I run up and down the stairs a couple times.
And we were talking the big long staircases at the beach. This is like, what is it? Like 100 steps at least.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Then I take a break and just like run around in the water and try to find seashells. Then I head home at around 2:10.
So does that kind of mirror your school schedule?
Yeah, most of it circles around my school, except I added some things that I think I need in the school day. So I added things that I need, like relaxation time, and I need more PE time because we only have it once a week. So I decided to put a little bit of it into every day.
Nice work.
I kind of like that. Kids redefining what school. I mean, a lot of people are working from home and they're sort of redefining what they need in their day. Maybe they need a 10-minute walk around the neighborhood while on a conference call as opposed to sitting at their desk. So in some ways, it's going to redefine how kids learn and how we work.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that you're taking charge of what you need and making it happen. I'm really, really proud of you.
Yeah. That's great.
Anything else you can think of, Annie, that we want to ask Sarah?
How are you managing stress right now? I mean, I know a lot of kids are nervous. There's a lot going on. Besides, going down and listening to the waves, how else are you managing it?
I'm just mainly focusing on the positives and just clearing out all the negatives. Unless like I have to deal with it, then I try to deal with it in the best way possible.
You are a highly enlightened and evolved child. You're amazing.
Are you missing friends? Have you been, how have you been sort of hanging out with your friends? Since I know kids can't hang out with kids right now. No one can hang out with anyone. So how's that working out for you?
Well, a lot of people in my class grouped together and made a group chat where we can contact each other and work on our homework together. And my classroom has a higher math level, and so there's a separate group for that. And then there's also a separate group for people that really want to learn a lot in a day, and they want to do like most of their work in the day. And then I also can call my friends, and then we can just like talk about what we did in the day. So, yeah.
Is everyone pretty much doing the same thing? I mean, everyone's sort of just at home. Maybe they've cleaned out their room 3 or 4 times. What are your friends doing, I guess? Is anyone doing anything different?
No. I feel like a lot of my friends just have taken time to do a lot of stuff that they don't normally have time to do. Like, I do art a lot more than I do normally because I don't have a lot of time. Like, after school, I do my homework, and then I have dinner, and then I get ready, and then I go to bed.
So I think that's pretty true for everyone. Your priorities are sort of changing of what you're spending your free time doing.
What about social media and looking at things on your phone? How has that changed, and what do you want to say about that?
I feel like it's weird because I don't spend a lot of time on my phone now that this has started, which is strange because I feel like it would be the opposite. But I have spent a lot more time reading, and I picked out like 3 books from the library yesterday, and I already finished 1.
Of course you did.
Yeah, that's definitely very true. There's some people who will kind of cling to social media, and some people will sort of scale it way back.
Yeah. I think the more we can scale it back, I mean, again, it depends on every individual, but over consuming it right now may not be particularly good. So I think you're doing all the right things.
Thank you for sharing. I think that will be helpful for other kids. Do you have any other advice for kids going through this right now?
Well, like I said previously, I said don't focus on the negative things. I know a lot of people are just thinking about the bad things, and they're freaking out about not having like the amount of stuff that they need. But I just focus on the stuff that we do have, and I'm grateful for what we do have.
So well put. Thank you so much. You are wise way beyond your years. It's been a pleasure to have you, and I think you're going to help a lot of people. So thank you. We have another perspective on the kids' perspective today. We have Henry in our studio. He's 11 years old and in 6th grade. And we just spoke to Sarah, who gave us the girl kid perspective. And now we're going to go for the boy kid perspective. So tell us how you've been doing, Henry.
I've been doing okay. It's kind of hard staying inside.
What's been the hardest part about staying inside?
Probably not being able to hang out with friends.
So what have you been doing to sort of make some adjustments to be able to like talk to your friends or hang out with your friends or feel like your friend community is around? What have you been doing?
I've been like FaceTiming them and talking to them while doing like homework and stuff. And yeah.
Are you feeling like you're missing out on school, or do you feel like doing the work at home is okay?
I feel like I for sure miss school. And I don't know. I just like school better than this.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. It's definitely hard for kids to be sort of transition this quickly into homeschool. You know, it makes for long days. What about staying active? How have you been moving, I guess?
I've been walking down to a basketball hoop every day and playing for about 1 or 2 hours just by myself practicing.
Right. And that's probably really hard, right? You probably wish there were more kids to play basketball with, right?
Yeah.
Have you found new kids to hang out with? Dr. Nanos and I were just talking about how communities are sort of coming together, neighborhoods are sort of coming together. You notice more kids outside playing.
There's been for sure like a lot of kids that I haven't seen, but I've been hanging out with them. And
6 feet apart.
Yes.
Good. Have you created a schedule for yourself? Have you done anything that you think has helped you cope better? What are you doing differently besides going outside in terms of your daily activities?
Your daily activity.
So I've woken up around like 8:30 and then pretty much just like, I don't know. And then at 10 o'clock I would FaceTime my friends and we would do the homework together. And then after we're all finished with that, I would go outside and play basketball.
Have you been more mindful of what you're eating, or do you find yourself snacking more because there's more downtime?
I've been for sure snacking more because I'm just at home and I feel like I can.
So in a typical school day, you would probably only eat breakfast, snack, lunch, and then maybe snack before you would leave school again? What do you feel like it's been like lately?
Probably like a snack hourly.
And that's a concern. That's not just a concern for kids. I mean, I know it's a concern for people I speak to on a daily basis. Like, I'm going to gain weight during this. I'm going to eat all day long. I'm going to make, as the fresh fruits and vegetables sort of dwindle in your fridge, you're going to start turning to processed foods and snacks and cookies, and maybe those Girl Scout cookies that were bought a couple of weeks ago are now,
Girl Scout cookies can survive anything. I've said this for a long time. I have this theory that they were all made and packaged in the 1960s and stored in a silo, and that's the supply we're all getting them from, like, even today. Love you, Girl Scouts.
So, Henry, what is your biggest worry right now? If you were a kid, like, how does a kid see it right now?
Pretty much what I've been seeing is like there's like a disease out there that like a lot of people have, and if you have it, like, you might like die or something. I don't know.
But you know that if you're healthy, and generally kids aren't as severely affected, and do you understand why we're doing what we're doing in terms of keeping everyone apart, basically?
Yeah.
And why it's so important for kids to really, wash your hands extra. I know Dr. Nanos and I have talked about a kid washing their hands sort of before this would be just running them through the water, wiping them down, claiming they washed their hands.
My kids have even been known to just turn on the sink and turn it off so I can hear it running and not actually wash their hands.
That's what I do.
True story.
So someone last night said to me, you almost want to wash your hands as if you were cutting a jalapeno and you got jalapeno all over your fingers, right? So, and then you touch your eyes, and that burn that you would get from cutting a jalapeno, you really want to use soap and get under your fingernail beds and really wash your hands as much as you can and then rinse them, because it's, if you were to treat it sort of as the jalapeno on your hands, right?
Yeah. That's good. That's a good way to look at it.
You know your eyes will burn if you cut a jalapeno and touch your eyes. So you really want to get it all off as much as you can. And think about that every time you're washing your hands.
And if you don't eat jalapenos, consider it an onion.
Right, or garlic or
whatever. All right. Anything else, Henry, that you want to share with us and our listeners?
Any other advice for kids that, maybe you've heard lately that may have helped you?
Just like live your life. Just be a bit more aware of like your surroundings.
I like it. Thank you so much for being on here today. We really appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.